guys, this is Valentine Lister, and in this video, I want to get into how you can understand transits without learning how to use a chart. So basically, in astrology, we look at transits or the movements of the planets and how they make aspects to different planets or through different zodiac signs. Basically, the planets go through the sky, they cross the constellations, and that means something. We use that as a divination tool. But when I started learning astrology, I had no idea how to read my chart, how to understand transits, and it was super overwhelming. So I'm going to get you started on a really simple way to understand how the planets are influencing your life and how to interpret that. So the first thing I started with understanding transits is to follow the moon transits, what the moon is doing. And the reason for this is because the moon moves very quickly. And so for me personally, I found that to be easier than tracking the other planets. Some people just say track the sun, but the sun can stay in the same zodiac sign, same place, for about 30 days a month. And then it changes around once a month. But the moon is changing every other day, so it's easier for me to see. And so the moon does go through different phases. Like there's the new moon, there's the first quarter moon, there's the full moon. But in what I'm going to show you in this exercise, you don't need to know what they mean ahead of time, because through experience, you're going to figure it out yourself. So the only thing I did at first, I just took my phone. Let's see if we can see this here. And I just opened an app and I kept track of what phase the moon was in and what sign it was in. And I just kept a journal of what was happening, or I just even noticed what was happening. I do recommend writing down a journal, writing this down. I'm going to get more into that, because you can go back and look and see were there themes or patterns. But honestly, even without writing it down, I started to notice some patterns with both the moon phases and the signs that the moon was in. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to show you real quick. First of all, how are you going to track the moon? So like I showed you, I had on my phone, I had an app. So there are many different apps. I'm just going to do two different ones, one if you have an Apple phone and one if you have a Google or Android phone. But you can use any app. So the big thing you need to know is from that app is that moon tracker app is going to have the phases of the moon, and it's going to have the moon sign or the zodiac sign. So you can look for, you can just do a search, in wherever you download apps to, moon tracker apps. I think I put just moon tracking apps or phases of the moon. So for if you have Google Play or Android, this is the app that I use. It's called the Phases of the Moon, and it's pretty cool. Let's see, there's some images here. So yeah, it shows you the phase of the moon. You can pull this back and forth, and it's going to show you right here, this says waxing gibbous. That's the phase of the moon. It's going to change to full moon, first quarter moon, last quarter moon, and it has the sign like I told you. So I had a harder time finding on Apple, but I don't have an Apple phone, but I still wanted to give you guys an app if you do have an Apple phone. So I found this one, which is free. It's called Deluxe Moon Pro, and I haven't used it, and I'm not associated, I'm not sponsored or affiliated with any of these apps. One of them is one I used. This is one I just searched for to just give you guys a name of moon tracker app that you could use. This app, it shows you here, I know this is kind of small, sorry guys, but it shows you the phase of the moon right there, phases of the moon, and then it shows you the moon sign right here. If you can read this says Scorpio and this says Virgo. So this would be the last quarter moon in Scorpio, and then over here it would be the waning gibbous moon and Virgo. So how are we tracking this? Well, basically, you're going to go in every day and you're just going to put in whatever date it is. So I have no idea. This could be August 1st, I don't know, 2022. I'm just coming up with any date, right? So you're checking it every day. You want to do, you check tomorrow too, 8/2/2022. Just check every day. This doesn't take a lot of time to learn, whatever. And you're going to put the moon phase. So maybe it's first quarter. The next day it would still be probably pretty thing. But let's say it's waxing gibbous after that. That would be the waxing thing. And then you could put the sign. It would be You know, we could do like Sagittarius or Capricorn. I'm just making this up. So you're putting in the moon phase, you're putting in the sign that it's in, and then you can put in notes or like observations, whatever you want to call it. But basically, you're going to type in these things. So first quarter moon, that's usually associated with fights, but you may or may not notice that. So I could write like, you know, had a fight with my mom, like on first quarter moon. And then on the wax and gibbous, worked it out with my mom. Like whatever, you can actually write things that happen, which is really helpful if you write actual like events, because then sometimes like that helps us to be more objective about our observations. But I do encourage you to write about your feelings and your thoughts, because the moon relates to like the lived experience in our bodies of we have feelings, thoughts, emotions. Those are always changing with the moon. It's like kind of crazy. So you could write, you know, I was really angry that day, or I'll put today, you know, thought my mom was going to help me more or whatever. So thoughts and feelings, you can write whatever you want, and you're going to keep this as a journal. Now, I just opened like a Google spreadsheet as an example, but you don't have to do this. You could use like a regular journal, and I'm going to put the camera back to me. Like I'll show you like one of my journals, you know, that I have, but you can keep a spreadsheet. The nice thing about the spreadsheet is that you can hit Control F, or was it, you can just like find and replace too. I think that will, you can search for things, but you can just do Control F. I'm not showing my keyboard, sorry, just Control key F. I'm using like PC, and you could put in like first quarter, right? And it's going to highlight wherever the first quarter is. So then like after you've been journaling on this for, you know, whatever amount of time, like a month, a few months, a year, you can actually go back and see the themes that happened every time there was a first quarter moon, every time there was a wax and gibbous, every time there was a full moon. Or you can also write like the zodiac sign. You may notice different things in zodiac signs. The zodiac sign is going to relate to like a house topic, like a topic of your life. So you may notice that you're doing similar things every time the moon hits Sagittarius, every time there's Capricorn. And through that research, you're going to start to notice, you know, some themes. Okay. And like I said, you can do a spreadsheet, but if you rather like just write down your observations in a journal, you could do the same thing. Just write down the moon phase, write down the sign, the date, and write whatever was happening, how you felt, your thoughts and feelings, things like that. And then you can look back to what you wrote. And this is a practice that I still do, I still use as an astrologer. So I'm not just tracking the moon transits, I'm tracking all of the many, many transits. Like, you know, see here, like there's all these transits here, but I still write notes every day. So this is still a practice I use. And I wanted to get you guys started on like understanding like how the planets influence us, or like what occurs, you know, when planets are in different placements, and, you know, just understanding this art of divination through experience. Every astrologer understands how to read a chart from the experience. You know why? Because like, you know, Saturn's a difficult planet, right? Astrologers don't know that because someone told them a difficult planet. They were looking at the chart and Saturn was like in a really bad place, hitting something hard, and it was hard for them. So then when they read your chart and they see that planet or that placement, they're like, that was really hard for you. And that's how they know what's going on. That's how I know what's going on with you. And this is also to empower you to have these tools for yourself, to know things for yourself, you know, so that you can just understand more about yourself, have more awareness, and be able to understand things for yourself. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to get started with understanding transits. So this is just a quick reminder that if you like this video, to like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, and share this out if you want other people to be empowered enough to know like what the moon means and what the transits mean for themselves, and start to learn through their own experience. Make sure to share this video out. It can be helpful. All right, love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, bye.